Right, we've tried it again and see if we can go live now. I'm on my phone. Okay, cool. You should be on my Facebook page. Make sure that you're on my Facebook page watching, and I will send you the invite now, my friend. Yeah. So let me try it again now. It should be on. There's the invite. So I've just sent you the invite. If you just click onto that, you should be on the show, my dear friend. So that should be quite cool. You should be on. So you need to be watching this, and then I've just sent you an invite. I was doing like this last time. Come on, we should be there. No, well, it should be. Bit strange that is. I've sent you the invite. Let's see if I can land it. Should be. No! Just don't understand it, eh? Right, I don't know what's happening on that, because I've just sent you an invite. Hold on, where are you there? Yeah, I've sent it to you, so we should be able to see me on here. Your views, yeah. That's quite strange. Hold on. I should be able to get you. Hold on. Let's try it another way. There you are. Hey, should be on now. Bring them on. I've just sent you. Should be on. Send request. There you are. Come on. Need to get you on here. Hiya, how you doing? Good, you alright? Ask Felipe to Georgia on video. Send request. Sent you a request. Right, here we go. Come on, I've sent it now. I've seen you said adding. Come on, you can do this. Yes! At last.
Here we are.
Here we are at last. How you doing, my friend?
I'm all right. I just cannot see you. Where are you?
I can see you.
I can hear you, but I cannot see you.
Oh, right. Well, I can see everything about you, so we better just stay like how we are.
Yeah, well, we're on. I just cannot see you, but fine.
So you've had a busy day then?
Yeah, Saturdays, it's my busiest day.
Right, cool. So what I want to try and do, because obviously it's really good to have you on the show, mate. And I know, like, we've been trying to. Hi, Ron Hector. Ron Hector's on. All right, there, Gordon. There's quite a few people. So yeah, so obviously we met up at the UK Drum Show this year, eh? That was good fun.
Yeah.
Can you tell now I've had a shave? Just for you. I don't have a shave for anyone else. So tell everyone roughly about the teaching, and also tell everyone about the UK Drum Show this year. What you thought of it?
Well, one thing about the UK Drum Show every year, because I try to go there every year, And one good thing about it is that it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. There's more people coming, more companies, more activities. So you have to be careful about it because you need to choose what you're going to do. There's a lot going, not too much. There's never too much, but there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And the other thing I like a lot is the number of children attending, because that means drumming has a future. You know?
Absolutely spot on, eh? I mean,
Yeah.
that's a cool thing, and obviously you teach a lot of different students. What age group do you teach from? Like any age?
All ages. From I have the youngest one is 4 years old, and the oldest one is 63.
That's cool. And how do you start off with the 4-year-old? That'd be quite interesting for us educated. How do you do that?
Okay, well, first of all, let me get something here to show you guys. Where is it now? It's whenever you need something, you cannot find it, right? Oh, here it is.
That's
Okay.
drummers for you, mate. We're all the
Yeah.
same.
Well, anyway, so there are two things. First of all, it's basically entertainment, right? You're
Yes.
not gonna make a drummer out of a kid. But years ago, a friend of mine came up with a method for children that is very good, and it works perfectly for uh, obviously 4 to until 8 or 9 years old, which
Yeah.
is pictures.
Wow. Cool. That's
So my
good.
friend, so my friend in Brazil, André Gonzalez, he came up with this method
Brilliant. I love
with
that.
yeah. So with this method, you don't teach music theory. You don't need to make them read notes or anything,
Yeah.
and it's easy for them to recognize. And then as soon as they can play a groove, you can say, "Oh, you can play that to this song or that song."
Gotcha.
So at the moment, the 4-year-old he's playing a lot of "We Will Rock You."
Brilliant. Oh, that's fantastic, though, isn't it? And how
Yeah.
about the 60-year-old? How do you work with the 60-year-old?
Well, I have two 6-year olds. One that is a beginner,
Brilliant.
and then for that I have since I did a plug for my friend, I'm going to do a plug for myself now.
Good.
So this book,
Wow.
Play the Drums, which I wrote for absolute beginners.
Brilliant.
So with this one, that's beginner. That's the book we're doing at the moment. He's about to finish,
Brilliant.
and the other one is an intermediate player. So we're working a lot on rudiments and technique at the moment,
Right.
and obviously making her play songs and grooves and stuff like that.
Cool. So in your studio, obviously you're in your studio now, eh?
Yes.
So and we'll talk about like later on because obviously I want to go into a bit more depth later on. But like when you set your studio up, there's two drum kits in the studio for you and for the student.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So was that something that you when you got your room? Because I was talking to a few people like how do you set things up and etc etc. And obviously, did you look for some sort of type of room that needed to get the two drum kits in? Was you quite I need it like this or need it like that?
Well, the short version is I found a space big enough that I could afford, and I soundproofed it, and that's the end of the story.
And if people want to get some lessons, whereabouts are you based?
I'm based in North London,
North
near
London.
near Archway Tube Station.
Right. So everyone out there, if you're in London, I know I'm going to be down there after the new year once I finish the shows. And let's talk about when you first started, because obviously on the drum panel show, people want to who you are, how you all started, and I think that's really important. So could you
Yes.
give us a bit of info?
Yes, I started when dinosaurs still walked on Earth, and
Like me, that's where we met, me and you. I like that, mate.
yeah. So back in the 80s, mid 80s, early between 83, 84. I, s-
Right.
I started getting drawn to rock and drums when I was 11, 12, which would
Right.
be
And what
81.
area was you living in there? Was it in Brazil?
Yeah, I was in Brazil, in the south of Brazil, my hometown, south of Brazil.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and so in school one day a guy comes up with a rock album, and you're like, "What's that?" And then you listen and you go, "Oh, this is great," you know.
Cool.
And then you back then to see a video of people playing was very, very difficult. But there
Right.
was this TV show in my home in Brazil. Every Sunday evening, still on after all
Wow.
these years, and from time to time they used to show video clips,
Right.
and then all of a sudden I realized that I was trying to see more the drummer than anything else on the video clips.
I love that. How about the area? You know where you live? Was there much? Obviously, in Brazil, you've got obviously festivals and all that lot. Did you get involved in that when you was a youngster? Like, did you hear like, wow, I wonder what that is? And I'm gonna. Or was there jazz events or rock
Well,
events?
okay, two things about Brazil in the 80s. Brazil was closed to the world. You
Yeah.
couldn't import anything. You couldn't
Wow.
have any every if you wanted, for example, a Zildjian cymbal, it had to be contraband because you couldn't get it there.
Right.
And
Got ya.
the same thing for, uh, tama drums or
Yeah.
big foot sticks, whatever, you couldn't get at all.
Wow.
And so everybody who had good instruments, it was contraband.
Wow.
So, and where I come and mainly everything happened in Rio and Sao Paulo, which I'm 1,000 kilometers away from.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah. So where I grew up, you could only imagine. I remember I was 15 and somebody got a bootleg tape of that Led Zeppelin show. The song remains the same.
Right.
Man, we used to watch that all weekend long because it was the only thing we had, you know.
God Almighty.
And
God.
that thing was already 10 years old.
So you spent a lot of your time, even in that age, you spent a lot of time watching and listening to them, really, huh?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Basically,
That's
that's all I could do.
just
And
like me,
then
huh? That's what it was all about listening and getting the vibe, eh?
yeah,
Getting.
and
I mean, South Paulo and obviously in that area, it's quite. I mean, all the bands go to that area when they
yeah,
play rock music, and
yes,
it
yeah,
is the mecca. It really is the
yeah,
mecca of bands. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
when
yeah,
you started, because I want to get into heavy details a bit today with the show about playing, not playing cross-handed, and the way that you're playing the Billy Cobham, because obviously we had a good chat at the UK Drum Show. When did you start playing that with the hands splitting out and everything?
yeah. Open-handed. Well,
Yeah,
this is actually compared to everything else quite recently.
right,
I've for the first 30 years of my playing, I was cross-handed,
right.
and so I've always been. Billy Cobham is my favorite drummer,
Yeah,
right,
like me.
of all time. But I never was brave enough to try open-handed.
Right,
So about 15 years ago or so, when I first hooked up with Dom for lessons, he 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 asked me, who's your favorite? Give me your top five drummers. I said, well, number one is Billy Cobham, and he said, do you play open-handed? I said, no. He said, that's insane. If Billy Cobham is your favorite drummer, you have to start playing open-handed at once.
that's difficult, Dom, eh? Straight away.
Yeah. But I didn't bend to Dom's will. I kept, I kept doing my way. And then 2014,
Right.
I went to his studio in Long Island, and we spent a whole week together there.
Wow.
And there he said, "You're not gonna leave my studio not playing open handed."
I just turned around there and I've still got his stick that we did a clinic with.
Uh-huh.
I've still got that stick he gave me so many years ago. It was probably about what, 6 years ago,
Yeah, probably, yeah.
and I still got it. You know what I mean? I still got it. So
Yeah.
that's a quite a cool thing. So even at your development, even at your age, and obviously like moving forward, like I say to different drummers, what made you wanted to uh, go to Dom? What made you go? You know what? I'm gonna go, and that's it. Because that's a big sort of move than what you've done.
Yeah, well,
Proud of
that
that.
yeah, the for a long time I was sick and tired of my playing,
Right.
to the point that I didn't want to listen to any recordings I had done. You know?
Wow.
Now I would record a song for a friend, I would record a couple songs for a band or whatever, and people say, "Oh, I'm going to send you a copy," and I would say, "Oh, it's fine." But basically, what I wanted to say is, "Please don't. I don't want to hear it." You know,
Did that get worse then? Did that get like worse in your head? Because that's quite a big thing
it's
to say. Look, I don't want to listen to it.
it's not. It didn't get worse in my head. I was bored with my playing because I knew exactly what I was going to play and how I would play and how it would sound and all and
Right.
everything. And I was really really tired. And then I was talking to a friend of mine in Brazil. Her name is Nina Parash. She's a professional drummer in Sao Paulo, great teacher. She
Right.
has a lot going on there. And she was having lessons with them, right?
Wow.
And then I asked, and then in a conversation on the phone, I said, "I'm really tired, sick and tired of my playing. I don't know what to do." And she said, "Why don't you have lessons with Dom?" And my first reaction was, "But this is Skype lessons. Those things don't work." And she said, "Yes, they do. I've been having lessons with him for a year. You should do the same."
Wow.
And I said, "I don't know." And it's very out of character because she's very mellow and very gentle. She just said, "Shut up and do it."
From a drummer
So,
to a drummer, that's quite cool. I like
yeah. So
that.
immediately, as soon as we hung up, I sent an email, and the rest is history,
Brilliant.
basically. Yeah.
Brilliant. I mean that's a quite a cool thing to talk about, really. Like I think we all get to that stage where when we're young, we want to try and imitate as much as we can with different people. I know I did that for, whether it's Cozy Powell, who was my hero, and then a bit of Billy Cobham, and then a bit of Phil Collins, and a bit of this, and a bit of that. And then I'm thinking, you know what? I need to stop. I need to stop. I need to be me. And I think
Yeah.
that's a really good point. What you've made there is we all go through it, but at least you had that. At least you had that conviction to say, you know what? I'm gonna go and learn. And I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, maybe it was a midlife crisis or something because I was in my early 40s when I had lessons with Dom. But I had the thing is, I for a long time, probably too long, I was full of convictions,
Right.
and and then all of those convictions didn't work anymore.
I got you.
But because they were my convictions, I was dead on about them, and I wouldn't move an inch or anything.
Yeah.
And then when things are not working as the way you think they should, and or everybody's saying something different from what you believe, you have to actually look at yourself,
Yes.
cut the BS, and say, you know what, let's change an attitude. And so I started. One thing that helped me a lot, and then it became on the way of my playing before I met Dom, was because I went to the Musicians Institute in Los Angeles.
Right. God.
Yeah, and I had lessons with Joe Porcaro. I had lessons with Ralph Humphrey. I had lessons with Don Perry that played with Jethro Tull.
Yeah.
I had lessons with a bunch of amazing teachers.
Wow.
Richie Garcia, who plays percussion for Diana Ross to this
Yeah.
day, and many others. And so you it kind of you have the mentality that is okay. After having lessons with these guys, who am I gonna have lessons with, right?
Right.
But that's the wrong attitude. It's like, okay, you had lessons with these guys, and they were fantastic, and they changed me as a player and as a person. But the world doesn't stop.
Yes.
You know,
Great point. Great point.
things keep moving. You know,
Yeah.
and then having lessons with Dome was obviously about technique and everything that he was great about, but he made you see the big picture, you know.
I think
It,
that's a massive. That's a really. I mean, obviously we were lucky because obviously I had my fortunate time to play a couple of shows, bit clinics with Dom, and then obviously we got him on the drum panel show. You know, and it was great because it was me interviewing him.
yeah,
But that was hard to do because you know, it was like, oh, I don't. I was like, no, no, come on, it's time, you know. But I think that bigger picture, and he was bringing that out of you. He had that personality. That he wants to make you better.
yeah,
Where probably sometimes with other people, and this is why it's important with the drum panel show that we're all musicians. We all want to, you know, we have ups and downs all the time. But hearing it from somebody like you who went to, you know, Mr. Global Ambassador himself, when you finished that week, did you feel like that's it now? That's real me. Thanks very much. And you can move forward again.
well, that's the thing. No, after that week I saw that he opened a door that I could go through and become myself.
Great point. Great point.
Okay, and even though it was 1 week, more than 11, almost 12 years ago,
But was
there's
that 10 hours a day though?
8 hours a day, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., just me and
Think
him.
about this, everybody. When you listen to your man, listen to what he's telling you. Yeah.
You know, it was 40 hours of drum lessons in 1 week.
Wow. Wow, man.
But more important than that, because the thing is, I would arrive at his house a little bit before 9.
Yeah.
He would come to the studio around 9. We would start the lesson. We would start chatting and everything, and then we would go out for lunch. So the let's say the pad lesson had stopped, but the life lesson and the profession lesson and the business lesson wouldn't stop because we would go out for lunch together.
Brilliant, isn't it? That's
Yeah,
great, man. That's such a cool. And Dom was like that. He wouldn't shut up, eh?
yeah,
Which is so
exactly.
cool.
Yes,
And I think these points that you're making, you know, you being a great educator and drummer, and obviously, you know, you're trying to obviously give more education to other drummers and enjoy the art because it is an art form that we
it is.
spend, you know, years and years, and we still haven't got it. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody has. And if you say you have, I think you're talking PS. You know what I mean?
Or you're dead and you don't know it.
That's so true, Paul. That's so. When you came back, was you living in London then? Did you come back then? Did you? You know,
Yeah, I was living in London already at the time.
right?
I spent 2 years having lessons with him via Skype once a month,
Brilliant.
and
Wow.
then I put together all my coins, and I went to Long Island to spend a week with him,
Fantastic.
and and that and and not only having the lessons, but he would give me an exercise, and while I was doing the exercise, he would be telling stories and would be giving examples and would be giving lessons on other stuff.
Yeah,
So
which is great.
it was really intense because it was a lot of stuff at the same time happening at the same time.
Right, right, gotcha.
It wasn't just like, okay, now let's work on the paradiddle. No, while you work on the paradiddle, let me tell you about this, and have you thought about that other thing, and have you got this, have you got that, you know? So it was it's I'm there's still stuff that I'm processing this to this day because yeah, it was too
That's
much
cool, man.
information.
When you came back to London, and then you started to play in a band again,
Mm.
you know, like after having all them lessons and stuff like, did you feel like you had your sound then? It was like, okay, I feel a lot better now. I can feel like I've done some work. Now I can be myself when I'm playing the drums and be the real inner you. Because I don't think a lot of us drummers really understand. I mean, you know, you're an incredible drummer. You know, you're a great drummer, and I love the feel. You know, but me and you sitting on a drum kit, which we did, right? But we're both we're you know, you do one groove, I do the same groove as you. It's still that personality thing,
Yes,
and I think
exactly.
that was one of the things that I was going to talk to Dom about bringing out a book about all about sort of your way of playing the drums for you. You know, I do a thing called expression. You express yourself. You know, something that I'm looking at the moment, and it's something about that I feel it's really important to understand you as the drummer and you when you play the drums in a certain way. And I think once you get to that stage of being you, that's where the big stars like your Billy Cobham, like your Dave Weckles, like you know your Phil Collins, they have got that sound, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
And there's a kind of funny but very profound quote by Oscar Wilde, and he said, "Be yourself because everybody else is taken."
absolutely right, huh?
And
Spot
it's
on, though, eh?
true. And I've seen people who, you know, they were modeling themselves after Dave Weckl and doing everything Dave Weckl did and trying to sound as much as Dave Weckl sounded. And that and then they met Dave Weckl, right?
I know
And
where
they
you're coming from. This, I love this. Carry on.
yeah, so and they played for Dave Weckl, and Dave said, "Yeah, cool." And the guy said, "Just cool. I do everything you do." And he said, "Yeah, what's the point? If if Chick Corea wants Dave Weckl, who's going to call me, not you. So what's the point, right?"
It's so true, huh? It's so true. When
This
do you
this
think?
this story actually happened. This story
Oh
actually
wow!
happened.
It makes me and now I get older, I can understand. You know, it's like I've got, you know, we've got our personalities of what we are. You know, your personality comes out of the drumming. You know, like I
Yeah.
know all my students when they're grumpy because they play like a grumpy drummer. And I know when I've got a happy drummer, everything's going well. You know,
You can,
so and
yeah,
I think we haven't got into that. I don't think, you know, some of us should get together. I think sometimes would be quite cool of understanding that sort of art form of what we've got, to not be frightened of it, to say, hey, listen, you know, you're playing cool, you know, I'm trying to do what I can, and then develop into you as that person. That, I think that's the big thing at the end of the day, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Uh, the story that I've heard from Joe Bergamini, who was
Right.
Dom's partner at the publishing company,
Yeah.
and he was saying that there was a drum festival somewhere in the U.S. where somebody was drunk when they made the schedule because it was Joe Morello. Then after Joe Morello would be Carmine Appice, and after Carmine would be Joe Bergamini,
Right.
right? It should be the completely the other way around. And so Joe told the story where he's in the backstage area, you know, really a concert like Joe Morello's on stage, and then Carmina Peace is going to be on stage, and then me. What am I going to do, right? So, and then Carmine saw him and saw that he was very nervous and very worried, and he said, "Hey, what's wrong? What's wrong?" And then he said, "What do you mean, what's wrong? You know?" And then I don't know what to do. And Carmine said to him, "Well, I don't know about you. I'm going to go there and be myself."
Yes.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That's all you
I
can
think
do.
I think that was one of the things I learned that at quite an early age of 22 years old when I got the call from Gary Mann from Remo to say, by the way, we want you to come and do Remo Day at Clapham Junction at the Grand Hotel. And you're playing with a guy called Dom from I was like, great. We're playing with Steve Calviner. I was like, great. And by the way, and you're playing with Terry Bozzio. But you know what? The cool thing is, because they didn't have a drum kit for me, right? And they said, look, we can't get another drum kit. We want you to go and do some pipe band drumming. You know, and it was really cool because obviously Steve went on, did a great. Dom did his usual introduction of everything. And then it was me, and then after me it was Terry Bozzio, right? But I think the cool thing that I learned is when I walked out there and there was so many drummers out there, I mean, it was incredible. I just thought, you know what? I just need to be me. You know, and at a young age, that's quite hard to do. It didn't really affect me in that way. But I thought, that's cool. But the good thing is, I got a standing ovation. And when I walked away, Bozio's friend, I don't know whether it was his agent, he went, by the way, this is Terry's show. And he
Not
went out
anymore,
there and he
pal.
played phenomenal. I mean, it was just a great. And then we all came back together at the end. I'll never forget it. And Terry went off with something like 16-8 or something. He just went off and Don went, hey, stop. Let's get back to some bass. And I'll never forget it in front of like the audience. Don went, whoa, no, let's start. And I think this is a really good point that young drummers today, I do it with all my drummers, is, you know, I say to, obviously, like next week, we got the semi-finals. The week after, we've got the finals of of the Rockstar Drumming Championships. You know, these kids who have won it over the last sort of 7 years, I have told them, be yourself, guys. And I
Yeah,
don't think I've really got, I don't know, I don't think there's many drummers who come to me who say, oh, I want to be him or want to be her or want to be, you know, and I'm quite lucky that these drummers that I've taught now, they're going out to play in bands, they're 14, 15 years old. And I get really, you know, quite sort of proud
you
that
should. You
I'm
should.
not hearing this or I'm hearing that. I'm hearing them, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's the way that I've done all my military stuff, and you know, I always look at it as like I just want to keep improving myself, like what you do. You know what I mean? So where's the Big Apple now? Where are you scheduling now? Where are you moving forward now in your drumming, you know, aspects of music and stuff like that?
Well, there's two things. There's music and there's drumming.
Do you write? Do you write stuff?
Yeah, I do write a little bit, but
Brilliant.
sorry.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, no, I like writing. At the moment, I'm working with a guitarist singer called Henry Kimber in the Henry Kimber band.
Wow, that's cool.
And yeah, and we had a gig last night, and we wrote we have one album out.
Brilliant. And where can
Yeah.
people find that? Where can people find the albums on
Well,
Spotify or?
yeah, we put an EP on Spotify instead of the whole album. We put 5 songs.
Brilliant.
There are 2 singles on Spotify. You just look for Henry Kimber Band,
Right.
and in a couple of weeks we're gonna have a new single coming out.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
And what
but
style of music have you gone with? Because this is going to
yeah,
be quite cool.
in this band we're going kind of soul, blues, funk,
Right.
kind of
Right.
a mix of that.
Okay.
You
And is
know,
it singing or is it instrumental
no,
or
no, singing. He's a great singer. He's a great guitarist and an amazing singer.
brilliant?
It's really interesting because he sings blues and soul amazingly well.
Yeah.
And last week he just ended a run as an opera singer. He also sings opera.
Wow, that's going to be
Yeah,
cool. Really cool. I can't wait to have a listen to that. So what's it called? Harry what?
Henry Kimber Band,
Harry Kimber Band. Right.
Yeah,
Remember that, folks out there.
KIMBER.
I'm going to have a listen to that after this. And
Yeah,
so,
so
are you enjoying that at the moment now?
yeah, because I like to play, let's call it song oriented music.
Yes. Good.
So
Yeah.
it's all about the groove. There's not about the chops. It's not
Nah.
about making clever decisions. It's because usually when you think you made clever decisions, you actually made a fool of yourself. Anyway, that's a different story.
I like that with you. You're so down to earth, brother. I tell you, I love it with you. You're so like on the spot of like bit. You remind me quite a bit of Dom in the way like you're just going down that line and that's it. So
Yeah.
let's cut all the rest out and let's just keep going down that one line. I love that with you, mate. That's brilliant then. So like so are you gonna be in London trying to do gigs and that what with this band? Are you starting
Yeah,
already looking at that?
yeah, we had a little bit of trouble in terms of we've been together. Me and Harry have been playing together for a little bit over 4 years because I played with him in other stuff.
Right.
And as the Harry Kimber Band, it's a trio actually. It's a three-piece
Wow.
band. We've been playing together for it's going to be 3 years in January now.
Brilliant. That's really
Yeah,
cool, man.
yeah, and we had a little bit of lack of direction for a time,
Yeah. Which we
but
all
now
do. We all go down that line, don't we? You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. But now
Yeah.
we kind of we had something that Dom was a fierce advocate, which is band business meeting. A band has to get together and discuss business.
That's one thing. That's one thing I wanted to talk to you about. Of obviously, myself and you. We've been with other musicians. How do you put that over to say a young drummer today, right? You know, might be a grade 8 drummer. Just say it's grade 8, right? And
Yeah,
he says to you, "Thanks very much. Now I'm going into the big world." What would you if you had just three little notes to give him or her? What would they be now? What would they be? How would you put that over to them 3 steps?
first, you're grade 8, and so are thousands of drummers. So don't think you're any special because of that.
Cool.
You know, be very professional to the point that if somebody hires for a gig, learn the songs.
Yeah.
If somebody wants you on their recording or a rehearsal, learn the songs.
Good
You
point.
know, have good equipment.
Yeah.
Don't come with cracked cymbals or a snare that
Yeah.
is made of dinosaur skin.
Yeah.
Have good equipment. And yeah, and being professional it's not only about getting paid.
Yes.
Getting paid is a consequence of being a professional musician.
Yeah.
And the other thing is listen, learn, and when you don't know, say you don't know.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Good
You
point.
know,
That's a big point, huh?
yeah,
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a real, because obviously we're both just saying getting young drummers and I don't call it trying to make it right. I just say just come and join the drumming community and work with
yeah,
other people, right? And I think them sort of little weenie tips. I think it's will always be there. It's been, I mean, since what, 1970 for me. It's still them three little things that you're talking about. I still have to keep working on them every time.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
obviously I'm MD now, so being an MD with a taste of hot chocolate, then I've got to come in and a different sort of format this time. Do you know
exactly.
what I mean? And it never changes what you've just said there. So I think that's really, really cool. You know what I mean?
And and that's the other thing. You didn't say I'm gonna be an MD now. You ended up being an MD because you're a professional and people can rely on you and you deliver.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah, and like I said, it's just having that concept of and it's a big job, believe you me. It's like looking after other people is like having kids.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
and there's different levels of musicians that can go to that next level,
Yeah.
and some people can't go that level, and you've got to
No.
try and communicate with them, the best that possibly can.
Yeah. And the one thing that a lot of young people think is, oh, if I play well, I'm gonna get gigs. Well, first of all, define playing well. You know,
Yes.
because if you're playing a ballad with double pedal, that's not playing well,
I like
right?
that. I love that,
Yeah, and there's a part of the business of being a musician that is just hustling. You have to go after stuff. You have to be creating stuff. You have to, you cannot just sit in your studio and practice 10 hours a day and hope that somebody is going to, for
man.
whatever reason, is
Knock on
going to
your
knock on
door.
your, yeah, say, hey, you're something told me that you're a great drummer, and here I am. No, it's never going to happen like that.
It's funny that I mean, I'm nearly 60 now. I mean, what are you, like 50, 52,
Five.
55? Like me and you, where we've come from, we're still repeating the same things that we
But
learned years ago, eh?
but if you listen to the greats, I had a chat with Billy Coleman when he was 76, and he was saying the same things.
Yeah. Yeah. So, in a day of life of you, okay, because this is going to be the cool part. Hi, Colin. Colin Walway's watching as well. Hi,
Oh,
Colin.
cool.
Yeah, he's good. He's cool. He's watching.
Oh, there he
There's a
is.
thing on here that I want to. It says remove, right? And it's on my thing, and I'm frightened to death to press it. Right
Press it. See what
now,
happens.
I might
Live
press it.
dangerously, man.
I might press it, and we might see each other. Right,
Yeah.
right. But I might press it, and you might go off.
And then you call me again.
So, shall I give it a press?
Yeah, give it a press.
Okay, all right. Let's see. Yeah.
I still don't see you.
Okay. No, no, we can't. It
Fine.
says remove. It says remove guest, so we can't do it. I can't
Yeah,
do it, man. No.
yeah, yeah.
Colin says hi anyway. Colin's watching
Yeah,
us.
oh, no, I
He
can't
was
see
on.
the screen. The only thing I cannot see is you. Everything else I can see.
Colin had a great time on the show. It only took him about 40 minutes to join me on the show. And then when he joined me, he says, "Oh, I've got all the invites now." He's a great guy. I love him. Colin's
He's
a
a
great
great
guy.
guy. He's amazing.
He's another fantastic drummer and a fantastic educator.
Yes,
Who's
yes,
such a like I did my first ever drum clinic with him years, and well, I think it was about 19 or something like that. And I've always admired him, and I always respect every drummer that I meet because I want to learn something. I'm going to tell you a story one time. It's quite funny. So I was in Newcastle about 5 years ago. Yeah, it's got to be about 5 years because me and Don was doing a drumming event for 2 days with Tony
yeah,
McAnally, Tony
yeah, yeah,
McAnally, who's doing the Tone Alley. He's
yeah.
another cool guy. So
Very cool.
so I was doing this snare drumming thing and all this lot, and in the audience was Dom, right, with a notebook, right? A notebook. This is a God's honest truth, right? And I'm giving it all. I'm going, yeah, we can do this and we can do that. And Don's just nodding his head and he's looking down and he's writing. And I said, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, sorry. I said, I've got to stop. Hold on. Dom. And he went, yeah. I said, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? What are you doing with your notebook? He says, man, he says, you carry on. He says, I'm writing all these notes, he says, and then when I do my next clinic, I can tell them that I've thought about this. So he says, we share, man. We share. We share. Remember that. And I was like, God almighty.
That's dope.
He said, Carl, listen, whatever you tell me, I'm going to write down. I'm going to share it. I'm going to share it. I love the way how he says, not robbing, but he says, I'm going to share it. I love that.
That's dope for you.
But yeah, I mean, like I say, with all these drummers, it's great to have everybody on. So now you're doing your stuff. Obviously, you're doing your teaching. What is the day of a life of you? Because this is important because people see me and you, and obviously with Colin and all that, you know, we go on stage
first thing is the Butler Briggs breakfast and the papers.
Go on, carry on. So a day of life for you. So you get up in the morning. Are you like a gym man? Do you go for a run in the morning or?
Look at my body and you see I don't go for a run anywhere.
Okay, so you get up in the morning, you have a breakfast.
The most I run for is the toilet, and not even that.
So what happens after that? What's the day of life of you? You know, like a full day.
I'm fortunate enough to have found a space not far from my house, so it's a 10-minute walk from my house to the studio.
Brilliant.
So what I spend my life here. The other place I just go for sleep.
A bit like my place as well. That's why I've got my place here.
Yeah.
Mrs. lives down the road, and I come here every day.
Yeah, that's me. I come. I have.
You got a proper routine though for you before you start. You know, like in the morning. I know I have, but do you have a routine for yourself that you've got to be right? I've got to commit to that, or
yeah, I've always start with pad work in the morning. Always start with pad work. You know.
Cool. I was going to show you my pad, but you can't see it.
So I always start with pad work. You know, at the moment I'm having fun again with All-American drummer Charlie Wilcoxon book.
Brilliant.
After 30 years, I decided to go back to it.
Cool. That's a cool thing.
Yeah.
And is that open-handed? Or everything is all open-handed now?
Everything's up, but the Charlie Wilcoxon book is rudimental snare drum solos.
Right. Okay.
That I do on the pad, but I play 100% of the time open-handed.
Brilliant.
And then after pad work, if the schedule allows me, with one of the things I've been trying to develop over the years.
Yeah.
On the drum kit is the ability of playing a groove and some percussion embellishments at the same time.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. So I have a few toys.
Brilliant.
So I don't know if it's gonna be possible to see that. I think let me see if I can flip the image. Yes, I can.
Oh wow.
So now I have, as you can see here, I have this thing here.
Wow. Brilliant. I can see Colin Walway buying one of them.
So there you have the snare and the hi-hat, right?
Brilliant.
So I play the snare and the hi-hat with the right hand and play some figures with my left hand on that thing,
wow.
which is a Brazilian instrument called the tambourine.
Right. That's cool. So do you work out with the book on that sort of cycle with your hands? Do you go, right, I'm going to try this and see what it gets?
Yeah, the first thing now I'm trying to just improvise.
Right, I gotcha.
But the first thing I did was open on New Breed's a page of New Breed and read with my left hand on that thing.
Wow, that's cool, man. That's
Yeah.
really, really
So
cool.
play a groove with your with the right hand
Yeah.
on the snare and the hi hat, and
Hmm.
then open a page of New Breed and read it with your left hand on that
That's
little thing.
brilliant. I like that. And how long would you do that for? A couple of hours, and then you'd get into like teaching and all that, like
Yeah.
that.
Sometimes 20 minutes, whatever time I have,
Brilliant.
and then I go into and then the other thing that's a big thing for me now, which I got deep into that, and it takes a little bit of time, is Instagram. You
Yeah.
know.
I love your see the way that you do your talking and that. I haven't got time to do that at the moment, because obviously we're rehearsing and got shows everywhere. But I really admire what you're doing. I love it. I always give you a little heart and say well done. And I have about 5 minutes where I go, right, let's see what I can rob from him.
Share.
He's sharing, sorry, sharing. I'll get my crew here to say, right, guys, when he's on, let me know. Record everything. Because I've just got the Roland SPD, the Pro.
Yeah,
I've just got that the other day. I should be able to show you. Well, I've got
I
everyone
will
there.
not
You
say.
can't see it, but everyone else around the world can. So I've just
Yeah,
bought that, and I've got to do programming at the moment for a lot of hot chocolate stuff. Really, it's all the
yeah,
congas and bongos and stuff like that. So obviously it's going to be a 2 o'clock in the morning job for me tonight
yeah,
because I'm absolutely shite at
yeah.
doing stuff. It's like I've got YouTube going. This is how you do it. And my drum tech, like I would rather give it to my drum tech and say, right, go and do the work, and then I'll pretend that I've done it. but because he's busy, he's gone. I can't do it. I was like, right, okay, this is going to be real fun. This is, you know what I mean?
you're,
But it's something
you're,
that, well, we were talking about today. It's something that I want to get back. I want to get into, and I've got to get used to it. So,
yeah.
better for me to understand it. I mean, it's a fantastic thing. I mean, it is. I took it dead funny. I took it into rehearsals on Wednesday with the boys, and Kenny walked in and says, "Where's your drum kit?" And I said, "No, this is. Kenny's like 73." I said, "No, this is my drum kit." But what I didn't realize, and this is where it killed me, right? The hi-hats, right, are on the right side.
Okay.
Right, here we go. And I was like, and I had to play the whole show because we have to go top to tail when we rehearse, right?
Yeah.
So I like someone who thought it was clever, I put it on and go, okay, that's all right, because I'll play my left hand on the hi-hat, not a problem. I've got my bass drum and I'll play the snare. So because I play the same as you, open handed as well as cross. But what I didn't realise was the hi-hats are on my right hand. And then I've got to play drum fills with my left hand. And I thought, oh my God, this is it. And Kenny go, you ready then? Let's go. First song. And I'm like, okay, this is it. I've got to do it. You know what I mean? And I did it. And Mark said to me, the guitarist, said, God, you did well there. And I was like, listen, mate, I was sweating. I was sweating. And I thought, now, what I should have done, like anybody would have done, is open the box up and see how it works. But no, not
Exactly.
me. I've got to stick it on and go, I'll be fine. It's going to be simple. But I tell you this, it was a challenge. I did it. But it was such a challenge playing right on the hi-hat and then playing these drum fills. Because obviously I couldn't cross over because I would have made a right ass of it. So it's good that you're trying out all these things that what you're doing and all that lot. So I'm looking forward, mate. Honestly, I'm looking forward to you know coming down and doing some stuff together. Especially, so is it like a podcast where people can oh yeah, Colin says, which rudiment do you warm up with most? Good question, Colin.
The paradiddle, single
Yeah.
paradiddle.
Why?
Because as I've heard from Colin himself years ago, is the gear shifter. The
Because
paradiddle
you
is the
robbed
gear
it from
shifter.
Colin. You robbed it from. Oh, sorry, shared it with Colin.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sharing what I've heard from Colin. The single paradiddle is the gear shifter. And it's one of my favorite rudiments because it's probably the most versatile one. You can play groups, you can play fills, everything.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I'm bringing out a book next year. I'm working on it, mate. It's 120 days of rudimental stuff that you got to play on your feet as well as but it's a proper day one, day two, day three, day
Excellent.
four.
Amazing.
So I will bring that down for you and I will share that with you. So tonight's show is all about sharing.
Sharing. Yeah, let's share.
But no, mate, honestly, thank you very much for today.
Thank you.
You're such a legend. You're a great guy. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the new year. I'm definitely going to come down.
Looking forward to that too.
We've got to bring Colin down, haven't we? I think we've got
Yeah,
to
of course.
One thing just before you go. We were talking, obviously, because people will watch this show again and all that lot. We was talking over the last couple of weeks, really, about putting a little drum thing together for Dom.
Yeah.
You know, and so any drummers out there who has had, is fortunate to have a bit of time with Dom, and also we feel that it would be a really good, from our sort of area of that to put on a little show, a bit of fun. It's got to be fun, and obviously for me, I could put the fun on, eh?
There's this guy saying, "Great chat, lads." Brian Kinsella.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, mate.
He's a great drummer, but he's afraid of taking the leap to become a professional.
Oh, come on, Brian. Come and join us, mate. It's great fun.
But now he's living in the US. Now he hit the big time now. He's living in the US.
Brilliant.
So,
mate, you gotta come and join us, bud. We're all here to support. That's a good thing about the drumming community. I felt like when we're at the UK drum show,
I think it's the only instrument that actually has a community.
Do you know what? That is absolutely. And do you know what made me laugh? When we was having our meal at the UK drum show, right? Todd Sucherman and everyone was on the other table, but we were louder than all of them together.
Exactly. Well, the UK drum show is a success. Try the singing drum UK show. See what happens if there will ever be a UK singing show.
I'll bring Kenny along for that. He can do that, mate. But no, Brian said it sounds great. So I think you should, Brian. I think you should come and join the team, mate.
Yeah.
We're all there. And anyway, just before you go, how's your back sticking getting on and the cymbals? Remember, we're sharing. We're sharing. No, mate, honestly, thank you very much for tonight.
Thank you.
You're such a great guy. I'll tell you, I think the world of you. You're a great drummer. You're doing really well, and I appreciate everything that you've come on the show tonight. So you've made my night now, so I can go back to the rolling pad and stay here till 4 in the morning.
Now the fun is going to start.
Yeah. Thanks, mate. I really appreciate it. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
And we'll see you soon. God bless. See you soon, my old pal.
Yes.
Thanks, Colin, as well. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.